Our journeys through education take many routes from our early years to university. Academic Crossroads is here to explore key elements to help equip you along the way. So join us and our special guests as we also discuss the expected and unexpected paths, including all the challenges and triumphs while gathering your academic top tips.
This is Academic Crossroads with your host, Dr. Leanne Jaye Adeyemi.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Academic Crossroads here on Fire Radio. Now, sorry for the delayed start. There were a few technical difficulties, but we are live and direct from the studio here at On Fire Radio. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience and thank you for bearing with us because we have got something special for you today. And if you are a parent, if you are an auntie and uncle, if you know that you are going to have young kids in your house this summer holidays, then please make sure you stay locked in and you share the link out to those who may also be experiencing the same, because we are discussing all things early years. Now, the early years create foundations for life. And so today we are focusing on how you can help your young ones in their development over the summer holidays. And now I'm not here on my own today, but as always, on Academic Crossroads, we are here to support and equip you. We're not just downloading all the information to you, but we are giving you practical things that you can take away. And so we have something very special for you at the end of this show. And also, if you know that someone cannot be locked in to watch us on YouTube, please remember to download the Marpe app and you will be able to listen to radio live over there. So whether you are maybe at home, in the gym, you might be on your way home from work, you can still stay locked in to On Fire Radio. Now, good evening to everybody that has tuned in. Goodness, Keziah, Tino, Jane, Belinda, Dorette, Bookie, Mama Val, Janet, Auntie Betty, Caroline, Sib, thank you all for joining us. And all of those who are locked in, but you may not have commented yet, welcome, welcome, and welcome. So like I mentioned, today we are focusing on early years, and I have a special guest in the studio here with me today. Now, this person has worked across nurseries, reception, year 1, year 2, so all of the early years. They are an advocate, I would say an advocate, for early years development, and especially understanding play and how it's used during childhood development, learning through storytelling, and a particular interest in risky play, wouldn't you say? So without further ado, that's how you say it, isn't it? Without further ado, I welcome Deaconess Nana to her debut on Fire Radio.
Thank you for having me today.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, Deaconess, as those of you that know her and those of you that don't, she is an advocate for childhood development with a particular focus on children with additional needs and also those with special educational needs and disabilities as well. So providing that additional support. Now, the early years are so pivotal to everything. They lay such an influential foundation, and so if we can influence it positively, then it is such a prime time for us to build children and develop children in the ways that we would like them to grow. So if you are a parent, an auntie, you might be a teacher, maybe full-time in a school, you might be a Sunday school teacher, it may be that you do holiday clubs, then you as a person in children's lives can make such a massive impact and can definitely influence positive outcomes for their future as well. Now, before we get into it, we are going to go into our icebreaker. And as we are talking about early years, Deaconess, what better way to start than to find out your favorite childhood snack?
Oh,
We were gonna go with ice lollies, but I think with the rain today, no one's really eating ice lollies.
That's true. But it's still warm though.
It is still warm. That's true. It's still warm. But your favorite, or one of your favorite childhood snacks. And if you are locked in online, please let us know your favorite childhood snacks. They may be from here in the UK, they may be from elsewhere in the world, but let us know what were you eating? What was your favorite thing to run home from school and know that it's there waiting for you?
I would say maybe we had a certain type of biscuit called carbon biscuit.
Carbon biscuits. Okay, bearing in mind, if you don't know, Deaconess was born and raised in Ghana, so for the Ghanaians tuned in, you're probably thinking, oh, it's taking you back.
Yes, it does. And
were they eaten by themselves?
No,
was it like
sometimes you just
with
dunk it in milk?
Okay,
or in
okay.
water. So maybe if you have like powdered milk, you put a bit of water in to make it like milk, and then you dunk it in, or maybe you just have it just like that.
Yeah. And were you warming up the milk, or was this fresh?
No, the weather is
fresh
hot,
milk.
so you just have it cold. You want
fresh cool milk.
Yes.
With a nice carbon biscuit.
Yes.
I like this. I like the sound of that. So we've had some people saying, we've got a lot of chocolate coming out. We've got chocolate. We've got puff puff. Danny, you're saying puff puff. Joseph, Twix, wagon wheels. I haven't heard a wagon wheel in a long time, actually. Wagon wheels. Gary, as well. Steph, you've said the Pink Panther wafer biscuits. Oh, those are the ones. You open the packet and it's just crumbled already, isn't it? Taddy, boiled peanuts beside the road, or roasted corn from the guy next to the boiled boiled peanuts. Taddy, I feel like you were already ready and prepped for snacks. No matter what, whoever was there first, I feel like you had the snacks on deck. Joseph, you said oggy with condensed milk and moi moi. Okay. Caroline, you said Dairily Lunchables, please. And Lunchables, those are the stackers, isn't it?
Yeah.
You like the ham and the cheese,
and
you bring it. So was that, Caroline? Were you buying them like on the way home from school? Was that like early? What kind of childhood are we talking? Are we talking early childhood? Are we talking like teens? Sib, you've said in South Africa, it would be crisps, flings, knickknacks, and Simba crisps. Knickknacks, I know. The others, I'm not sure of, but I'm sure if you were eating it like that, it was surely tasty. So, Rocky chocolates. Those were the ones that it either comes with caramel in a gold packet, or it's like in a red packet and it's just the biscuit by itself. So those were definitely up there with the childhood snacks. With the childhood snacks. So, Deaconess.
Yes.
With all your experience in early years and the early years, how did you find yourself there? How did you get into early years? What route did you take? Because there are quite a few different routes.
Yeah, there are quite a few.
So what was yours?
I started off with doing a distant learning course with a distant learning course, and that was with caring for children and young children. And then when I finished that one, I did uncommon childhood illnesses with that same college.
Okay.
So I did those two, and then from there I thought of going to do early years. So I applied to uni for early years because I wanted to have a bit more knowledge and know how to and what next to do in that field and take that on as a career.
And alongside this, you were working alongside it in early years as well, weren't you?
Yes, because part of the course requires you to do either paid or voluntary. So I tried voluntary,
Yes,
But
yeah.
I didn't like it because I couldn't. I guess it was because I wasn't learning anything. Because when you're a volunteer, you're just used for odd jobs.
Okay.
So I volunteered in a nursery, in a school nursery, and what normally happened was the kids who couldn't focus, the kids whose attention span weren't great, were normally sent out to go play. So then you're sent out with them to go and play. So then I couldn't learn anything that was happening in the classroom. And also, as part of the course, you need to assess and observe children as part of some of your assignments. And I realized if I'm a volunteer, getting consent from a parent to observe their child will be a bit difficult because you are not a permanent staff. You're a volunteer, so it will be difficult for you to get a parent to consent to allow you to observe their child and write about them, even though you're not writing their names in your assignment, but it will be difficult. So when I looked at all of that and assessed everything, it means that I need to go into it paid. So then I looked for a school, and then I started working in there.
Okay, nice. So you've done, so it's like studying, working, I guess doing work placements for any course, and having that experience actually in the field really helps solidify your learning, isn't it? And
it does.
You get to grasp that, okay, this is the theory we're being taught, but actually in practice, this is how that plays out.
Yes.
And sometimes we see that actually the theory is a nice thing. It's all blue skies. But then in practice, actually, you have to navigate that. And that's why I think, especially with early years practitioners, educators, they are so important and so pivotal, because actually they understand how to navigate children's development as a whole. It's not just like, okay, let's say a child has gone to a gymnastics club, and so they're there, the coach is teaching them gymnastics, whilst they have to manage other things as well, but primarily it's gymnastics. But during the early years, children are learning how to share, they're learning how to put their shoes on, they're learning how to read and write. And so I think, honestly, early years educators, amazing and pivotal. So before we go into what has been most challenging and also your favorite part, we will be back in just one moment.
On Fire Radio.
Is my voice too low?
Dear God, it's me again. I know you said you'll answer me, but when? It's wrong for me to be questioning your plan, cause Romans 1:20 says you're him. But lately I've been struggling with faith, and lately I've had so much on my plate. And maybe I move faster than your pace, and that is why I'm always on your case. Dear God, and in the stress, I'm famous but my whole life is a mess. I feel like I should give up on this quest, but James 1 chapter 2 says it's a test. I'm struggling to love myself again. I struggle to forgive myself for things. I fumbled and I lost a lot of friends. So you are all I got as it stands.
It's the maker.
Always on my side. Even though I know what you do, Tati. Even though I know that I don't deserve you. Always by my side. There's times I've doubted you, God, but you never let me go.
touching lives, renewing minds, impacting nations.
Welcome back to On Fire Radio. You are tuned in to Academic Crossroads. So thank you all for joining us and looking into today's episode. So again, if you know any parents with children in their early years, aunties, uncles, then please send out the link so that they can tune in, because we do have something very special for you at the end of the show. And it's something that will support you through the summer. So, Deaconess, you were just giving us an overview of how you got into early years, but
Yes.
what's been your most challenging thing so far?
The challenge that I have faced so far is juggling work, uni, home, church. That's the challenge that I've faced so far. But then in terms of like being with the children, the challenge is trying to get children who are a bit low in class, trying to get them to come up,
Yeah.
working them out to be able to have good sort of like passes in their assessments actually.
Yeah, because I think juggling, so you were doing your course part-time, isn't it?
Yeah.
As well, so you were working full-time and then doing your course part-time.
Yeah.
What was something that you found helped with that? Helped you managing? Yeah.
It means you have to actually, some things will have to slide. So you have to let go of certain things and carry on with certain things. So sometimes some household chores would have to be pushed aside to be able to focus and do some assignments. That is how you tend to try to juggle them. So once you finish your assignment, you can come back and look at what that household chore was and how to sort it out.
So for those of you with spouses working full-time, studying part-time, grace, please, grace and understanding is much appreciated.
Yes.
Because I mean, some of these part-time courses can be like, I know when Stephen was doing his as well, it's like 6 till 9 p.m. So you literally get back from work, if you have time to eat, or even just go straight to uni, wait there, and then it's 6 till 9 and you're in uni, and that can be 2 days a week.
Yeah.
In some instances as well, but definitely prioritizing and working out what needs to be done when, definitely. But you've had, obviously I've been on part of the journey with you.
Yeah, you have.
So your can you let us know your favorite part?
My favorite part is supporting kids who struggle in terms of reading, in terms of writing, in terms of their maths, helping them and seeing them improve. So putting interventions in place for them to help them to improve, which I did one quite recently with one of the kids in my class this academic year. And that little girl now has improved in her maths because I put in interventions, and she comes to school very early. She's one of those that are there as soon as the door opens, she enters. So I get her to do her writing quick. I said, finish quick, I've got a surprise for you. And then she's jumping, yay. I'm like, yeah, I've got a surprise for you. Then it's maths. I'll help her through it, and then she'll do it. So at the end of the sometime in the middle of the year, we had their first assessment, and she came up really well with her maths. And so she moved from my table to a different table for maths, which was exciting to see. Yeah, so that gives you fulfillment and joy. Yeah,
that's so amazing. Like the impact that you have had on that child's life forever.
Yes,
because now she has more understanding of the maths. She's probably learned strategies as well to help her long term. And so when parents send children to school, whether they have additional needs or need a bit of extra support or not, you do pray that there's someone like you in the class with their children, like with our children. We're praying
that
there's teachers and educators that really are there for the children, and know how to work with them and support them in the best way possible. So that's really amazing, Deaconess. Thank you. That's really, really amazing. And we got a round of well deserved. And so within early years, so I know that your particular focus is on SEND and additional needs, but you have worked across quite a few different year groups.
Yes.
And so like, what are we seeing in early years today that maybe areas that could be improved in terms of like, as well, children coming back from the summer holidays? I know this, like, I vividly remember this one summer holiday. I think I was in year 5, and I came back after the summer holidays, and I'm sure I must have done writing over the summer holidays.
Okay.
Knowing my mum, I definitely did some form of writing. But I came back, and then I was asked to write a number on the book. I can really remember this. I was asked to write a number, and for all of a sudden, like, I just couldn't remember. And then I was writing the number, and I didn't put any spaces in there, nothing. And so even now I think back to it, I'm like, what happened? But so it might not necessarily be those exact experiences, but what are we seeing in early years? And what areas do parents need to focus on?
To begin with, those that are going to go into reception this year, it's quite good if you can get your child to be school ready. Because
okay,
at the
school
moment,
ready, what does that mean?
That means that the child should be able to go to the toilet by themselves, be able to put on their shoes, be able to take off their clothes and put them back on. They can eat by themselves, they can drink from a cup, from an open cup. So all those things they can share, they can take turns. All those things are classed as school readiness, because now a lot of children are coming to school, some are coming to reception wearing Pampers still, some are able to do a little bit for themselves. Some can't put on their shoes, you have to help them to put on their shoes. Some can't change themselves, you have to help them to literally change themselves if they have to go to pee, but they are in reception and they are around the age of 4 and 5. But then teachers are thinking that they should come to school ready to be able to do those things, especially when it comes to turns taking, because they don't have any social skills, so they don't know how to share, they don't know how to take turns, and you have to really work on them to be able to get there.
Yeah, I feel like some stuff whilst like I'm definitely in terms of school readiness, like having children being able to like zip up their own jackets and things, because some of it is just practically with time, isn't it, in the classroom?
Yes.
And getting in and out side and things like that.
Yes.
And then there are other things that if like a child can't share, for example, it's a bit more of a, because you know, like you have like 8-year-olds that can't share.
Oh yeah.
You have like 7-year-olds that can't share.
Yeah.
So I think in terms of some things, you have to sort of understand the child and know that it's a work in progress. Like as a parent, it is a work in progress, but it's something that has to still be, it's something that's taught and they experience and they see as well. So sometimes you have to exaggerate your, oh, you can have a turn now. Oh, it's my turn, and things like that in the home, isn't it?
Home,
yeah.
And also trying to get your children to learn their numbers, learn their alphabets before they go to reception, because when they come into reception, the first few weeks they are assessed to know which groups to put them in. So the top bracket, the middle bit, and then the lower group. So it would be best that before your child goes to reception, they're able to count numbers from 1 to 10 or maximum 1 to 20. They can count 1 to 20. They know the alphabets from A to Z. They can identify the alphabet. They can identify the numbers. They're able to hold a pencil to write. All of those things are assessed before your child is put in a group, because when I first started working in a school, I said to myself, I do not want to see any of our arrays at the bottom group, because there, most of the teachers there don't really have that patience to teach you to get up the ladder again. If you're not careful, you'll be there throughout your entire school year.
So I think it's a bit of juggling, isn't it? It's a bit of understanding your child, but it's also understanding the system they're going into. But there are so many ways, some of which we will be sharing with you later, that you can help support your children in doing that. So before we get into those, we will be back in just one moment. Our journeys through education take many routes from our early years to university. Academic Crossroads is here to explore key elements to help equip you along the way. So join us and our special guests as we also discuss the expected and unexpected paths, including all the challenges and triumphs while gathering your academic top tips.
This is Academic Crossroads with your host, Dr. Leanne Jaye Adeyemi.
I was waking up and I done stress. I was waking up, I don't feel right. My life looked like a mess. And when I bruise, I don't hear right. Wrong my friends like 10 times and them they ghost me. The day I tried take my life, my father called me over. Know my word, cause you love me first. Who God bless, no man can God. So Satan, you lose. He'll try accuse you, but tell him he's a used to. Now my mind is new. Let me introduce you to Christ, to save my life. Paid the price to open my eyes. I decide to draw my pride by his stripes. I am nice with Christ. Save my paid the to open my so I never die. Now I'm in tune that I recognize. Psalms 23, I got memorize. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want any extras. You bring me my sunshine, and you pay for my entrance. My defense, so I depend. When the story don't make sense, you're beginning and the end. Save my life, paid the price to open my eyes. I decide to draw my pride by his stripes. I am nice with pride. Save my paid the to open my eyes.
You for joining us here on Academic Crossroads on Fire Radio. So it is myself, Dr. Leanne Jaye, and my co-host and guest for today, Deaconess Nana. Woo! So before we get into the special little something we have for you, we do have our segment of What's Up, Doc. Now this is where you get to ask your questions. And today, I'm not going to be answering the question, but Deaconess, I think this question will be for you.
Okay.
So, for our question, how do you stay motivated and focused in such a demanding career path, especially when you feel overwhelmed? And how does your faith play a part in it?
Honestly, it takes the grace of God to keep going. Most often, I'll just sing, or maybe play a praise song. So sometimes maybe on my way home, I'm already listening to song. So as soon as I get home, maybe if it's a praise song, I drop my bag and then I'll be in the living room dancing.
Putting on the garment of praise, Deaconess.
Yeah, dancing by myself. So it takes the grace of God and the strength that God gives us day in, day out to be able to keep going. Because sometimes some of the children, like the way that they maybe how things are at home, the fact that nobody pays attention to their education, nobody is helping them or supporting them at home. So then when I look at those kids, it breaks my heart. But then that's why I tend to put in a lot of interventions for those kids to make sure that even though there is nobody there for them at home, there is somebody for them at school trying to help them and pushing them.
Yeah. Oh wow.
So as I said, when I see their achievements, it makes me happy. Yeah.
That's amazing. So thank you for your question, Mbale, and I think that answered it all.
Thank you.
So thank you for sending your questions in to our segment of
What's
I inquire to ask him, what's up, Doc?
If you're old enough, you'll catch the reference, and if not, then you have to find the reference. But so please do remember, you can send your questions in. You can send them in over on Instagram and however all the other ways that you can connect with On Fire Radio. So now the special little something.
Yes.
I say little something. This is going to support parents
It will.
over the whole 6 weeks holidays.
Yes, it will. It's interesting.
So we have put together with Mustard Seed Learning summer activities for you and your children. So these activities have been carefully curated with experience, in the home, experience in schools, experience with early years children, and children around the ages of I was going to say birth,
Yeah,
but actually birth.
Early years starts from
Early,
0
isn't
to
it?
5, isn't it?
Birth to just a
It's
little
0
bit
to 8,
over,
actually.
yeah. So it's from birth to 7, 8 year olds, and we have some summer activities that we have put together that you can adapt and change, but they are there to support you over the next 6 weeks. Some of them channeling towards the school readiness, but all of it fun, all of it fun, centered in and around play. But just knowing that actually they are building skills that are fundamental to their development for now and in the future. So first of all, we have some activities at home that people can get into. So Deaconess, would you like to go into our first one of stories?
Yeah, the first one is on storytelling. It's a good way for kids to build up their vocabulary because they're learning new words. And actually, when you're telling the story, it's not just about picking a book and reading it to the children, but having a book which is a bit entertaining, one that you can involve the children in, get them to participate. So something like we're going on a bear hunt, that has a lot of actions in there. So when you pick a story to read for your children, you try as much as possible to get one that has actions in there, whereby you can get them to do the actions. You do it with them so that they are also happy doing it. Some of these storytellings also help children to build upon their literacy, upon their numeracy, and even learning about the world that they live in. So it's a good way of actually getting your children to build upon their foundation.
Definitely. And it can be reading aloud. We have given suggestions for role play as well. So you may be acting out your children's favorite Bible story, get them to do charades, then you have to guess.
Yes.
So a little bit of it requires your interaction too. And also creating, it may be that actually if they're a bit older and they can write, they may create their own stories.
Yes.
They may also create stories through retelling the events of the day to help develop and build their memory as well. So stories can be read. We have it as an activity in the home, but it can also be done outside and anywhere. Even if you're going for a long journey this summer, then you can definitely bring the storytelling in as well. Then we also have drawing, painting and colouring activities just for you. It may be drawing simple shapes. You have younger ones in the household, and so mixing food colouring with Greek yogurt. Edible paint was a firm favourite, especially when my older two were a bit younger. A firm favourite in my house.
Yeah, I know that.
And then at least you know that it's safe as well.
Yeah.
So get a bit of food colouring, go and buy some Greek yogurt, mix it up and get painting. It may also be that you have some spare wrapping paper in your house somewhere, or a brown roll of paper somewhere. Roll it out, set the scene. You could maybe draw a scene, you could maybe draw a big racetrack with cars, and then actually bring the cars onto the racetrack. Or
and even saying that helps with their gross motor skills, because you've got to bring the car on and be driving the car on. So
exactly. See, carefully curated, thinking of the whole child and their development. Now, baking as well. I know sometimes baking can be messy.
Yes.
Baking can be messy. A strategy that I've found really helps is if you pre-measure all of the stuff and then just put them in separate bowls, and then it's pouring and mixing
and adding,
and you haven't got the whole bag of flour out and then they're trying to pour it in. So if they're not there just yet and you're not willing to have that kind of mess, measure them out, but it gives them the opportunity. And within this as well, you can include math skills, because you can do counting, how many eggs do we need. You can get the older ones to read the ingredients and to read the recipe as well, so that they're telling you what order each thing needs to be put into.
And it's good if the children can get their hands into it as well, because it's sensory for them. Because messy play is sensory for other kids. They tend to know what textures are. So it's a good play as well for them. Yeah,
and building up those fine motor skills, which actually translate across to their writing, isn't it?
Yes, the fine motor skills translate across to their writing. So by doing that, they build upon every part of their body, and then it helps them later on in their writing.
And also exploring. Now we've when we were talking about the different activities, actually exploring, because children need to understand the world around them. Like, you don't sort of like just grow up knowing what shapes are, and like it's all learned, isn't it?
Yeah, you learn all of that.
So allowing children to explore, it may be drawing, it may be, you can so some of the activities we've said is that you could write or draw items from the themes. So it may be that you have a plain piece of paper and then you write red on the top, blue on the top of another one, then yellow, and then they find items in the house
to match those colors.
Yep. And then if you don't want them running around the house picking up everything they find, you can carefully select and put all of the items in a pile, and then the children have to sort
it out themselves
from that. So that can be colors, that can be shapes. What other things have you done with that type of thing?
Let's say, well, mostly it's the colors and the shapes, getting them to learn their colors and the shapes, and then afterwards you can count them which adds up into literacy. So you can still go back and count them. Okay, how many were yellow, how many were blue, how many were green?
Yeah.
And all of that is also building them cognitively as well. Being able to learn their colors, being able to learn their numbers, in all of that, whilst exploring their environment.
Yeah. So none of this stuff is just, children don't wake up and just know it, isn't it?
Yes.
We are learning all the time. So stories, drawing and painting, baking and exploring in the ways that you can in and around the home. And for those of you that might want to get outside this summer, hopefully when it's not raining,
yes,
or even in the rain for some, now and again, you might not mind, but getting your children physically active. Now, physical activity and engaging and developing their gross motor skills, so like their running, their throwing, their catching, these fundamental motor skills have all been shown and explored in research, in practice, to help children with their health for now and in the future, for their social skills, because when you're playing ball games, you have to share, you have to take turns, isn't it?
Yeah, you have to share, you have to take turns. And all of these are part of the early years foundation goals. So these are learning goals that at the end of reception, they'll be assessed on.
Yeah, so it's looking at that, and they're just great skills for life as well.
It is. It is.
You know, you have to share things in life, especially if you're a sibling, then you yourself will know.
Yeah, and playing outside physically also ties in with taking on some risks as well.
Yeah.
So learning how to problem solve, learning how to take risks, all of that helps in their mental health and also in their adulthood. Yes. Helping them to solve problems, helping them to be resilient in things that they may encounter in life.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, physical activity and children being active and developing these gross motor skills as well has also been linked to academic attainment. Yes. So sometimes you might think, you don't need to go and play outside, you just need to read. But actually, in the early years, they can complement each other.
Yes.
So if we can do activities as well that help children build the other skills, because you can integrate maths into an activity outside. It may be that you are asking children to run and collect 3 cones, run and collect 5 cones. It may be that actually you're getting them to hop to the red spot or something like that. And so there's real value in doing that. You can set up obstacle courses in your house or outside as well, where they're building up their balance and their stability. Yes. So you may also want to go on adventure hunts. You may want to go and write lists or draw lists and then hunt for bugs, hunt for animals. You could do flowers. You could also do plants, whatever it may be. But getting children to go on adventure hunts is really helpful, and you could just all become explorers for maybe like 20 minutes, half an hour, even an hour. And some hunts go on for longer. What we used to do is, we had this Noah's Ark, and so I'd hide all the animals around the garden, and then they'd have to go and find the animals. So when we say animals, for those of you that are not fans, you can use objects or pictures that you print off or draw yourself if you're an artist. Then that will be, you can adapt it in that way. And also, the sun is up. So shadow drawing is one that people can do as well. Yeah. So I've seen a lot of the time where people hang like leaves on a string.
On a string,
and then as the shadow is on the floor, children can draw around them. And sometimes that's easier, isn't it? Because sometimes when you're stenciling something and you're holding the item,
it's hard.
That's part of the task in itself, like trying to get around your hand to actually do it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then finally, we have sand and water play. So Deaconess, what types of sand and water play activities do you do with the children you work with?
With sand and water play, you can put in like those fishes and seas and animals, and you can have some measuring cups or jugs in there, and they'll be just measuring. So they'll just fetch the water, pour it into another empty jug or cup, and all of that is them learning how to measure, really playing in the water. And then in the sand must be a bit moist, so then they can put other containers in there to build up shapes. So if you have any containers that have different types of shapes, you can put it in the sand play, and then they can just fill it up, turn it over, use that to build like castles or build different types of shapes in there.
Yeah, that is such a great idea, and it really helps children be able to use
their fine motor skills. Yeah, it does.
Once again, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, and you can also do mini car washes and rescue activities where you have to do a bit of prep for that one. Freeze stuff in overnight, and then children can use water. They can use spoons and things to like crack it and get it out. But we have carefully curated these activities for you and your families over the summer, so you can use them to your heart's content and adapt to them as and how, and theme them to whatever your children prefer as well.
Yes.
Now, Deaconess, time has flown, but I'm looking at it, and that is all we have time for today. But thank you so much for joining us. It's been a real blessing to have your input and to share your experience with us here on Academic Crossroads. So, round of applause for So thank you so much. I have been your host, Dr. Leanne Jaye, with my guests,
Deaconess Nana.
So thank you for this show. We have focused all on the early years. And next week, if you are a parent of children in secondary school or know any parents of children in secondary school, you will want to be locked in, because I have another special guest. And with their experience as well, we will be delving into all things secondary school and how to help our children get ahead in the holidays. So thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget, download the Marpe app, and you can tune in whether you are in the car, at the gym, on your way home from work, on your way to work, even at work, if you're allowed to listen to something.
And also don't forget to join us on all our social media sites, on Instagram, on Facebook. Join us there, and it will be a great pleasure having you join us.
So thank you so much for locking in today, and we will be back with you same time, same place next week. Academic Crossroads will be live here on Fire Radio.
On Fire Radio. Anytime, anywhere. You have been listening to Academic Crossroads. Join us same time next week for more academic top tips with your host, Dr. Leanne Jaye Adeyemi. On Fire Radio. Anytime, anywhere.